Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt. Investing is actually one of the greatest things a person can do to achieve financial freedom in their lives. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why you need to start investing today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. First thing I'm going to say is that compound interest is one of the greatest things that a person can actually take advantage of in their lives. Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world for a reason. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. This is because when you slowly start becoming an owner of stock or ownership of a business, you slowly become an owner rather than someone who is purchasing from a business. This means you'll actually start generating dividends and returns because you are the owner of a business rather than someone who just buys from them. The Canadian stock market has actually averaged just under 9% in the last 60 years, while the US stock market has averaged around 10% in the last 60 years. And this is also including all the stock market crashes that have actually happened in the last 60 years as well. Over the long run, if you invest and stay invested, you will grow your wealth. There is no doubt about it. The real key to investing is developing a consistent habit of continuing to invest. Another thing you could look at with investing is take a look at the wealthiest people in the world. Look at the Forbes top 50 list. Look at the wealthiest people in the world. What do they do? They're either entrepreneurs or they're investors, right? And they have massive ownership of their own company that they started or other businesses that they purchased. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to start your own business or that you have to take the risk and dump a whole bunch of money trying to become an entrepreneur. You can easily just slowly buy pieces of stock equities through index funds and over time increase your wealth slowly. And you can do this by just working a job that you enjoy, whether it's a day job, whether it's a remote job like other videos that I've shared in the past. You don't have to take a risk and start your own business to become wealthy. I think that's a big misconception about the world we live in now, is that you have to become an entrepreneur. You have to start a business to become very wealthy. And it's definitely a much faster way to build wealth, but it's a lot riskier and it's a lot more work, 100%. And I also think there's a preconceived notion in the world that investing is like gambling and that, I'm gonna lose all my money if I start investing. I don't know what to do. I don't know how this works. But this is just not true at all. In fact, there are so many options today that make it so simple that, if you're older and you're watching this, you're gonna think, why didn't I start doing this 10, 20, maybe 30 years ago? And it's funny, in my own personal opinion, I think it's actually riskier to not invest at all. If you have all your money in the bank right now and you're not investing, it's actually a lot more riskier to do that. So a way you can instantly start to invest is by buying index funds, which are low-cost, diversified funds of stocks or bonds that allow you to build a low-cost portfolio that is very diversified across the whole world. Oh, and a quick tip, if you are investing in mutual funds at the bank or with an expensive financial advisor, just know that you're actually overpaying on fees and that you can actually get those fees back into your pocket and compound the gains on top of itself quicker. So hit the like button for that tip. And if you are completely afraid of investing and it seems very scary, I think the main thing to look at and ask yourself is, why are you scared? What is so scary about it? Now, nobody likes to lose money, but if all of your money is in the bank, it's actually losing value due to inflation every single year. And a lot of people just let money sit in checkings or savings accounts. They're not really aware that this is happening. In Canada, personally, banks are paying under 0.5% in interest in checkings and a lot of savings account too. Now, there are high interest savings accounts. There's a couple of good options in Canada like EQ Bank or Modus Bank. So you're better off storing any cash or money you have into a high interest savings account. And I'll definitely be making more videos on that in the future. Now, the thing too about investing and about stocks is that they can be quite volatile. Stocks can move even in a day very quickly up and down, and there are actually ways to kind of smoothen out the ride of the stock market by adding bonds to your portfolio. However, what happens when you add bonds to a portfolio is that you get a lower expected rate of return, meaning that you won't be getting the best possible rate of return with all stock, but you'll have a more gentle, smooth ride to the top. And having bonds in stocks is better than not investing at all. So in reality, you should actually not be afraid of investing because you're actually going to be putting your future self in a worse financial position. The beautiful part about investing and starting to invest is that you can start extremely small. You can start with 50 bucks a month, 100 bucks a month. You don't need to start with a massive amount of money. And this is great too because you can kind of start small and see how it feels to actually have money invested in stocks. Now, research shows that let's say you have a lump sum of money, it's actually better to invest it all at one time rather than dollar cost averaging, which is when you invest in small amounts, let's say every week, every month. But I think personally for people who are just getting started, this is a video for complete beginners. It actually, I think, makes a lot more sense to just start small and dollar cost average. I think that's actually the much better option. It's honestly like going to the gym or starting a new habit. You wouldn't go to the gym, 5-6 days a week in the beginning, right? You would start maybe 1 day a week, maybe 2. And then you would slowly build up and, as you get better with your habit, you would increase it. It's the same thing with investing. You don't want to scare yourself and think that, oh my God, this is nuts. This is scary. I'm not going to do this, right? Because you want to start small, get a feel for how it works. And this is exactly what I did when I started investing about 3 years ago. I started saving 10, 15, 20% of my income, whatever I could really kind of save up, and then I would invest it. And in just those 3 years, which is not a very long time in investing terms, like that's honestly very small, but I've already seen the power of compounding and how it really works. There is so much potential in just buying and holding equities, buying and holding. It is so easy and so simple to get started. Now, I know this video is being made, towards the end of 2019, it's October, and there's been a ton of news about, recession coming, and you probably heard of an inverted yield curve, all this stuff. The main thing is nobody knows when we're going to enter recession, stuff like this. And it's actually better because if you're a younger investor or if you're brand new to investing and you have a lot of time, you can ride out the crash. And it's actually even better because you're buying more on sale when the market goes down. You'll be able to buy more shares and you'll actually be able to buy more with whatever cash you have. And also, the recession doesn't have to come, let's say in 2020 or at the end of this year. It might not come for another 5 or 6, 7 years. Nobody really knows. So by just kind of being scared and holding back, you're kind of just putting yourself at risk. And all these news and media stories have kind of been the same story for years and years. I mean, you can look back at like right after the last recession in 2008, they've been releasing article after article, or you've probably heard news articles or news reports come out saying that recession will come in 2011, 2012, 2013, and it never comes because nobody can predict this, right? This is just how the world works, the economy, how markets work. It's so complex, right? Unless you're Ray Dalio, it's very hard to understand the complexities of how it all works. So I think you get my point by kind of thinking, oh my God, recession's coming. What if it doesn't come in the next 3 years and the market goes up by 30%? Well, there you're kind of getting left behind. So, don't try to time the market, get in and out because the odds are against you and, that won't really work. The whole point of this video is to kind of tell you that you don't need to become the next Warren Buffett to, be successful in investing. You don't need to pick individual stocks. You certainly can. But I think if you're going to start picking stocks and doing all that stuff, you have to do a ton of learning and you gotta spend a lot of time just looking at individual companies and looking at their financial statements, looking at what they're currently working on. It's a lot of time and effort to do that. But by just buying index funds, you instantly get a diversified portfolio across the whole world, and all you got to do is buy and hold. It's so simple. The results over time will actually shock you because they've already shocked me, and I've only been investing for just over 3 years. It hasn't been that long. The best time to start investing was 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, smash it, for the YouTube algorithm. It'll help me spread this channel to new people, give them a different perspective. I know there's tons of channels on YouTube that talk about this, and I love them all, but I feel like I can really give my own unique perspective on investing that I think can really provide a lot of value for people. So I'd appreciate if you guys would leave a like on this video, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.